You guys ready?
Yep. All right, we're here with
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
we're here with head coach John Cooper after an 84-57 win over Muskingum. Coach, your opening statement.
Sure. Thank you. First of all, it's always good to get the first game under the belt. We started off the season and we had 2 scrimmages, so this was really the first time that our group has been under the lights per se with fans in the stands, and we have a lot of young kids, so it was interesting to see them. Certainly in the first couple of timeouts, it looked like we were dead. Guys that, a little bit over anxious, I would say, but I thought, there was a point there late middle first half into the second half. I thought we finally settled down and we were able to execute and do a few things. Michael Weathers played very well from an offensive standpoint in the first half for us. We've got to do a better job he's got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job of making sure that we take care of the basketball. And then we were able to get Jake Wright going, who, has the ability to really, really shoot a basketball. Someone asked me the question about the shots and my opinion of his shots, and I like the shots that he takes. It's just that simple. For him, I think the key for Jake is just always making sure that when he has the opportunity to make the extra pass that he does, because he does have the ability to get it going and to score buckets. But, we'll get better. We had some kids that got into foul trouble in the first half. Darius was in foul trouble. And, of course, Zach McCormick gets in foul trouble. But all in all, I'll take it. Not pleased with the free throws. Missed too many free throws and then too many turnovers. So those are 2 things, hopefully, that we can get cleaned up. You can't expect to go up to Wright State and win with 20 turnovers and that many missed free throws.
All right, we'll open up for questions.
When did you decide to start Michael, and did any aspect of his game today surprise you at all?
No, not at all. No aspect. I mean, he earned it. Michael's 6'3". He's got good size for the position. Milos is 6'4". It's a little bit unusual as you look at our point guard position this year compared to years past and the size that we have. And so those guys are able to do things that, and get in the paint, and their size allows them to score. Michael's a good athlete. He's long. Looked a little tired, which I can understand that, but he earned it. He has ability, and I think his teammates know it. Does that mean he's going to be perfect, or are we going to have to bring a freshman along at that position? Absolutely. There are going to be some things that occur that, quite frankly, are going to make you want to pull your hair out, but he's also going to do some things that make you say, whoa. So, but he's got ability and he has talent, and we've just got to make sure we continue to coach him up and get him to command the game.
I guess with this much turnover, are you looking toward a season where you're going to have not so much concentrated scoring, but scoring up and down the lineup and coming off the bench?
Yes, I definitely think as you look at this team, there will be more people that have the ability to give us scoring. You go back to last year. If you look at last year, Eric and G, it was pretty much Eric and G that were our 2 consistent scorers. I think we've got some guys that have the ability to really help up and down the lineup. Marcus comes in the second half, doesn't play much and doesn't play in the first half and gets 11 points. But I think the thing about Marcus's game that I enjoyed watching in the second half is that he tried to do everything he's been coached to do. He has ability, and he's long, and he's bouncy, and he's athletic, and everything else. So I think what you're going to see is, particularly from the freshmen, you're going to see those guys mature as the season progresses, and you're going to see their games grow by leaps and bounds.
If you had to, overall, the whole group of freshmen, how would you grade their performance today?
Well, I'm hard on freshmen, so I don't know if that's fair about them. But we'll give them a C. I want more and more, so I'm not. Trust me, And the freshmen know. Here's what I'll say about them: they are really, really good kids. They really are. They're good people. They have very good work ethic, and they've tried to do all the right things. Having said that, I have an 8 and You know, my son's 8, and I'm not going to give him too many compliments on his basketball game either. He's got a long way to go. So there it is. I appreciate their effort. I want them to continue to get better. But, you know, if you look, Mike had 7 turnovers, so that ruined it for all the freshmen. So they're all lumped together. The freshmen had for sure at least 7 turnovers. 7 of them were Mike. So hard for me to compliment them too much. I do like them, though, and I think they've got ability and they're talented. I will say that.
What are you going to encourage the team to take with them for the rest of the season from this game specifically?
From this game?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Well, I think a couple things. I think one is that they did play together. I think we have guys that are on the bench that are cheering for each other, and they're not worried about themselves. That's number one. I think there were some stretches offensively where we were able to execute. You know, if you watch us play, it's a little bit different. It's not as much of the bounce. It's more sets and guys moving in the ball, so I like that. And if they'll continue to do that and share the ball, so I think those are things that we can definitely take with us from this game. And I think what you'll see because of that is if you look at the stat sheet, you're going to see scoring that's going to be up and down, which I think is going to help us throughout the season.
I'm not sure how much you can address this since you just came off of playing Muskingum instead of Duke.
Right.
But how do you feel about your inside game and rebounding going forward, just from what you've seen, maybe including practice?
Well, I'll tell you, I wasn't pleased with Logan and Rod's rebounding this game, if you want to know. I told them that, and I don't say that to put that in the media to get on kids, but they've got to do a better job of rebounding. It's got to start there. Darius was in foul trouble, so that certainly affected us. But one of the things that has to occur, for instance, if you take a look at our rebounding stats, and it's what I told Milos and what I told Michael. For instance, Milos had 2, but Michael had 7. Our guards are going to have to help us rebound. That's not a bad thing because those guys have size, and so we're going to have to do a better job of rebounding throughout our roster. And of course, Rod had 7 and Logan had 8. So you say, well, why aren't you happy? Because I thought there were too many balls that were tipped that we got our hands on that you need to come up with cleanly, because as we step up the competition, no disrespect to Muskingum, but as we go on the road to Wright State, those are balls that we don't get a second chance at. You have to come up with them cleanly and then be able to play the game. And so that's one of the areas certainly that we have got to improve in, and we'll continue to get better.
Any more questions for Coach Cooper?
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Coach.
Have a good one.
Okay, folks, we have freshman Michael Weathers and junior Logan McLean. Questions for these guys?
Michael, outstanding debut. Were you nervous at all out there?
The nerves didn't hit till about 2 minutes into the game. I started turning the ball over a little bit, but
Started doing what?
turning the ball over a little bit. But other than that, they wore off a little bit.
When did you find out you were going to start?
Coach usually doesn't put that up till about 3 minutes going into the game, so I didn't find out till then.
Were you surprised?
I've been working hard in practice and everything, but yeah, I was surprised. I didn't think it would give a freshman a chance to start.
What are you guys going to take from this game to next week games and then like throughout the rest of the season?
I would say ball security. I don't know how many turnovers we have, but I know it was way too many. And rebounding on the offense and defensive end, we got to learn to box out and grab the ball with 2 hands like the coaches emphasize every day.
Is this win any predictor for the rest of the season, how you guys are moving forward?
I would say it's a good predictor because we got the first one out of the way, so now we just need to come together even closer than we are now and just play our ball.
So you've been working with the freshmen, obviously. How do you feel like they're fitting in? Obviously, it was a pretty impressive day for them, for the class, all the way up and down today.
They've come a long way since they got here in the summertime, and I think they're going to turn a lot of heads in the MAC and in college basketball this year, because I see it every day in practice just like the older guys do. So now they just got to do it every day and every game.
Okay. You guys are all good. Thank you.